This weekend, I'm going to be eating 1,400 calories per day with 170 grams of protein. And this is not something that I recommend doing long term for most people. And there are a few caveats and things to consider, which we're going to discuss in this video if you are going to be eating such a small amount of calories, especially if you are an active person. I'm away this weekend, I'm eating alone, and I wanted to do something that was simple, quick, and cheap, that I could just grab the things that I need and eat all of it in those 2 days, not having any extras or having to add extra meals, and cutting down the calories as much as possible and increasing the protein at a good amount, so that even though I'm eating in a deficit, I'm still eating plenty of protein to help stimulate muscle protein synthesis and maintain as much muscle mass as possible. Now, as I mentioned, we're going to be talking a lot about various factors to consider if you are eating in a deficit like this, especially if it is long term. But first, I'm going to show you the grocery haul that I got. It's not a lot, but we're going to talk about the meals that I'm going to be eating. So first, on this side over here, we've got the things that I purchased. The whole grocery bill came to about $40, so not bad. But I did bring a few things from home. Now, what I brought from home was this kind of mix of veggies and some black beans in there that I fried up before, so that I had a nice, easy variety of veggies that I can add into my meals. Particularly, it's going to be for my breakfast. And with my breakfast, I'm basically going to be having the mixed veggies and egg whites. Now, I usually get the full 1 liter, or 1 liter, I don't know if it's a liter or not, but 1,000 grams. They didn't have any, so I went with 2 individual ones. Now, in order to make it simple, actually, it's even better because I can just use a whole one per day, not have any leftovers. That's going to be about, I think it was 225 calories and 50 grams of protein, which is an excellent, excellent start to the day. And then for my lunch or midday snack, it's because I'm probably not going to be eating my breakfast until closer to noon anyways. It's going to be half this tub of high protein Siggy's yogurt, which I think is just double what 1 serving size is for half. I think there's 4 serving size in this whole thing. So it'll be at 220 calories and just under 40 grams of protein. Plus we're going to do half the pack of blackberries and half the pack of raspberries there. So that'll be great. And then on for dinner, we're going to be splitting this ground chicken breast into 2 servings and make kind of like a patty, like a little burger, chicken burger with it. We're going to fry up some mushrooms, which are going to go probably underneath or on top of the burger. And then I brought this avocado from home because I had one and it was ripe and ready to go. So we got that to kind of cut up half an avocado each night to go on top of that. And then a little bit of butter to fry the mushrooms in. I'm probably only going to be using about half a tablespoon with each meal, so only adding about 50 calories there. And then for my evening post-workout pre-bed kind of snack, I brought my protein powder mix with creatine in it and a little bit of dark chocolate to have just a little sweet treat at the end of the night. So still having some indulgences. And then I brought my low to no calorie drinks just to have something to sip on, something sparkly, bubbly, help keep me full once I'm done drinking coffee for the day. So that's all the things that we are going to be eating and drinking this weekend. All right, day 1, I got to sleep in a little bit this morning and then I had to go into work for a couple hours. It's shortly after 12:30 now. For my first meal of the day, we got the stove on here. We're gonna put about half of this veggie bean mix in first and then pour the egg whites over top, and that will be our breakfast for today. Quite high protein, as I mentioned before. There is some protein in the veggie mix with the beans, but primarily it's going to be from this, which is going to be about 50 grams of protein, and it'll end up being quite a filling meal. All right, we got the veggies on the stove. We're going to let that warm up a little bit, and then we'll pour over the egg whites. Now, because I'm eating so late in the day already, almost 1 o'clock, I'm basically going to be having a meal every 2.5 to 3 hours, and so I think that'll be fairly easy to stay full and satisfied. I'll probably weave in an exercise or a workout session between one of those, probably after dinner and then before my protein shake and a little chocolate treat. But let's take a look here and then pour over the egg whites. So I screwed up the recording as I went to pour in the egg whites, but you can see there are a ton of egg whites in there. It's probably going to take a little while to cook. I don't know if you can tell all that is in this veggie mix here, but there's a variety of things. I meal prepped a bunch all at once, so it wasn't that much work for the amount of convenience that I get out of this. So there's zucchini, a couple different colored peppers, some green beans, mushrooms, onions, corn and black beans. I think that's pretty much everything. So I meal prepped a bunch of it for me to have this weekend and then for my wife to have while I'm away. You can do so much with this if you want to just prep it up and have a healthy, convenient way of getting your veggies in. You can do it with eggs. You can do it in burritos. You can do it as like a stir fry over rice. You could probably mix it with some spaghetti sauce and use it over pasta. So many different options that you could do, and it tastes amazing. I use a lot of variety of spices, but the main ones being like salt, pepper, garlic, throw in a bit of turmeric and ginger, and smoked paprika, and man, does it taste good. All right, and there it is, the finished product. Looking pretty good. It's like I think I've said this before, kind of like a frittatas. Turns out pretty nicely, actually. Yeah, I don't know if you can kind of see underneath there. It's got a little bit of a nice crisp, a little brown, but not burnt. And the only thing that would be awesome is to have some salsa maybe to go on top of it, but this is gonna taste quite good. And look, that's like massive. It's like at least maybe even an inch, half an inch to an inch thick, depending on kind of where you're at. So I think this is gonna be a lot of food to eat and a great first meal of the day. Yeah, it tastes not so bad. It's a lot of food. I forgot to share the macros. It's about 450 calories and 50 grams of protein. So not too bad at all. A great way to start the day, and also a very low amount of calorie intake. Most people are only gonna need about 100 grams of 100 grams of protein per day. So that's like half your protein needs in your breakfast for only 400 to 450 calories. Not bad at all. So I wanted to talk a little bit about calorie deficit and how significant of a deficit you should be in. And it all depends on how much weight you have to lose and how long you plan to be in a deficit. Generally, losing about 1 to 2 pounds per week is going to be a good target, depending on how much weight you have to lose. Now, if you are going to be doing a deficit for a long period of time, you're going to want to have the deficit be not too significant below your maintenance, because that's going to put you at higher risk of losing more muscle mass. Now, when you lose weight, you don't only lose fat, you can also lose muscle. There are ways to counteract that and limit how much muscle loss you have. One, by eating a very high protein diet, and two, by continuing to work out and stimulate muscle protein synthesis that way by going to the gym. Now, if you are eating in a severe deficit and doing that for a long time, you're gonna have such little energy and putting yourself at high risk of injury. So it's not sustainable, and it can actually set you back long term. So doing it for a long time, you don't want to go in such an extreme deficit. Now, if you don't have very much weight to lose and you're just trying to, lose 5 to 8 pounds in a month, and to just sort of reset, do a quick cut, and then get back to building muscle more consistently, then doing a more aggressive cut during that time, and maybe on a weekend or for a week, doing even a more significant cut of calories can be okay. But again, you got to be cautious about how much you limit and for how long, because you don't want it to affect your ability to go to the gym and to recover, because that is going to put you at higher risk of losing more muscle mass. All right, it's a little late for my snack. It's 5 o'clock already, 5:30 almost. But here it is, a pretty massive bowl of plain Greek yogurt, unsweetened, high protein, with half a container of raspberries and half a container of blackberries. Quite a lot of food, I guess, depending on how much you're used to eating. I just haven't been that hungry lately because I've been under the weather, but I had to get it in. I didn't want to cut my calories too low. And then we're gonna go for a workout and pretty soon be back for dinner, probably a couple hours at least for dinner. And then I'll finish off the night with my protein shake. I'll see you soon. All right, so I just got back from the gym. I just did a pretty light workout, but then I did go for a sauna, took a little bit of a cooling off shower, and then had a bit of a hot tub, just because why not? Now we're back in the room. It's about almost 8 o'clock already, about cooking dinner now. I'm doing all the mushrooms, so I'm gonna cook them all at once and then just sort of save it in the fridge for tomorrow for ease. So that's the whole pack of mushrooms, and then a tablespoon of butter. I did throw on some Montreal steak spice, which I brought from home, learning from my past mistakes. And then I've got the chicken, the ground chicken that was in that pack, a little over, I think about 320 grams. So each patty is going to be about 160 grams. And altogether, the meal's gonna come to, oh, almost forgot, avocado. We're gonna throw on half an avocado to each dinner. And that all together is going to come to about 500 calories and 45 grams of protein, roughly. I forgot to mention the calorie and protein breakdown for my snack earlier with the Greek yogurt. It was a little over 40 grams of protein and about 300 calories. So I'm gonna finish cooking this up and then I'll be right back. All right, and there it is. The grilled mushrooms look yummy. And I did put some Montreal steak spice on the chicken patty as well, topped with a little bit of avocado. It's basically like a grilled mushroom chicken burger, just without the bun. And I am excited to dig into that, and I will see you briefly for my snack. All right, I'm just getting ready for bed. It's about 10 o'clock. Got my protein shake, finishing that off. So all in all, maybe it's because I'm not feeling great and my appetite's not as high, but I felt pretty good day, not feeling too hungry at all. Food was actually pretty good, especially considering, you know, just in a little kitchenette here in a hotel with some basic stuff I bought for my meals. But yeah, dinner was actually quite yummy. Protein shakes, just a protein shake, water and protein powder. But I'm actually excited to eat it all again tomorrow. And I'm surprised at how well I got through it all. But yeah, I think that's going to be a wrap for this video. Hopefully you got some value out of it. And maybe if you're looking into doing little smaller deficits here and there, so you can eat closer to maintenance at baseline, you might be able to kind of make your weekly average a little bit lower and facilitate some weight loss. But check out some of my other videos. See if you're interested, drop a like, drop a comment, consider subscribing, and I hope to see you in the next one.